Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name is Ryan. I get stuff from yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, flea markets, and other random assortment of places. Try to make a few extra bucks online. I'm actually streaming 2 days in a row because I actually have something to talk about. Usually I do a Monday morning stream, it seems, because I have weekend sales or and some finds and that sort of stuff that are worth doing. Today, sales were slow for a while, and now they're starting to pick up a little bit, but that means I need to keep listing. And I've got a few, 3 or 4 interesting sales, and I'm going to discuss. No fines. I didn't really get anything yesterday that was worth writing home about, but we will discuss other things possibly later because I'm going to do a quick review on a couple of the books I sell and how I sell them. And it's always handy information. So, sales. Let's jump into it. Motor on capacitor. This, and actually, I may end up having to cancel it because the guy's like, I need it urgently and I can't find it. It's a motor run capacitor. This is for like air conditioning systems, I guess. I ran into maybe a couple of years ago now, but I was at an estate sale, and in the guy's shop were a bunch of these things in the box, unused. This box looks a little beat up, but it's fine. Like new old stock of capacitors and a bunch of different like parts for air conditioning units, and they were $1 a piece. So I'm like, what the heck? So I grabbed them and sold a bunch of them actually, but somewhere in like between the $10 and $15 range for most of them, and they ship cheap. So these things don't weigh a whole lot. So they were, it was $5-6 to ship it. So I was making a few dollars per, and I'm down to, I think I've got 2 or 3 left maybe. So that one sold, but the guy may have needed it too quickly, and he made a poor decision. So if I don't hear back from him by like the end of the day, I'm going to ship it. Next up, sales wise, this is a faster flip than I thought it was going to be. Is The Agony and the Ecstasy by Irving Stone, and this is not a first edition or anything. This is a little bit of a classic work. And it went for $13. I bought it for 2. Old book. It was like 1950, I think. And with the dust jacket. One of the reasons I got it is because I saw that there were a reasonable amount of this book selling of different types. It wasn't just old ones, wasn't just new ones, but this book kind of sold. So I figured, I'll grab it and see what happens. Because it was an older one, and there was like 1 or 2 just like it that did have a sale between $10 and $15. So I snagged it, sold it. All right. Now for the reason you probably tuned in: hymnals and Bibles. This is one of the things I've kind of wound up specializing in is some religious stuff, and the more I'm doing it, the more I'm learning hymnals and Bibles. This is Hymns of Grace. This is a Primitive Baptist hymnal. This went for $12. It went for way less than I thought it was going to. I think this was one of those. It's like I didn't see it on eBay when I bought it. I didn't, or there were very few copies of it, or they were priced real high, something like that. So I snagged it. I think I had it like $30 at one point. Didn't sell. Kept taking it down. $12, which is fine. It was a little bit of an experiment, and I did figure I would sell it for a reasonable profit because it was such a rare hymnal. So if you're looking at hymnals, and you find one that, and this is actually kind of rare, you find one that you don't see on eBay or even like Terapeak, it may be worth getting if it's under a couple bucks. Because there are collectors out there, and you may find one with a unique song here, or unique song or something like that here or there. So keep an eye out for some rare hymnals. But there are two hymnals that I grab $2 or less without like just to make sure that they're clean copies, and that's Baptist hymnals of any era, and I think it's called a hymnal for worship and celebration. Those are the two I always grab. The rest of them I look up. Sometimes they're worth grabbing, sometimes not. And kind of your more conservative church hymnals are going to be better sellers than your more liberal ones. I have this this box full of like the 1930s Methodist hymnals. Hadn't sold a single one. I got them stupid cheap, but I haven't sold a single one of those yet. And if they were Baptist hymnals, I probably would have sold the entire box by now. So something to say about. So anyway, hymnals. Also, their hymnals are kind of like Bibles. Typically, they're cleaner. Actually, you don't want one that's marked up a lot inside. It's easier to sell them if they don't have the church on the front embossed, like a lot of times. So I'm not saying don't get it. If it's older, it's kind of fine. But newer hymnals, you don't want the church on the front. And minimal markings on the inside. I usually do okay if there's like somebody wrote their name or a dedication stamp, or if there's even the stamp of the church on the inside cover. But you want the rest of it to be clean. So, and good binding. But these things are almost always well bound because they get used a lot more. So, anyway, hymnals. Next up, finally, Bibles. Sold this. This is a new international version, black binded leather Bible. And a few episodes ago, I discussed particularly NIV Bibles. This is a 1984 edition of the NIV, which uses some slightly different language in describing men and women. It kind of keeps to the old way of, if you're going to talk about a group of people, it says men instead of men and women. That's kind of how that goes for the older NIV version. So this ticks a lot of those boxes that you want when you're selling a Bible. Nice cover. This is a good bonded leather cover. Good binding. Clean copy. There's no writing in it at all. Like even on the dedication page here. Few other extras on here. It's large print and has some a form of reference in it. If you look down here at the bottom, this is a reference Bible where it has listings of where something might be to another verse, and this is a double column Bible. But it doesn't have the references in the middle. I think you can fit a few more here than you can at the bottom. And words of Jesus are in red. So something to think about when you're looking at Bibles to grab them. Now your King James, NIV, NASB, ESVs, the ones that more conservative congregations use, typically do have the red letter in them. That is, actually, I think the liberal ones use that too. It's like the one thing that most Bibles seem to have. So anyway, Bibles, look them up. Actually, this one was hard to find. This one went for $50. But look them up. Keep your eyes open for good condition Bibles with nice covers. If you see one with a nice cover, grab it and look it up. Not a hardcover. Unless it's older or there's something real particular about it. You can sell large print hardcovers, but usually you want your leather cover. Faux leather cover, or something like that. So that is those. And that's the 4 things I sold. One other fun thing that I'm in the process of selling, I think she's going to buy it. It's a Facebook sale. Is I have a handful of these are like cartoon. This is Ninja Turtles, Muppets, Muppet Babies, famous cartoons. Stuff relating to like 1980s cartoons and that sort of thing are they're not like super hot items, but you're not going to flip them on eBay really quickly. These are all like $2 to $3 things. So this is one of the things that I flip off Facebook groups. And this lady was buying a couple toys from me, and I asked her if she was looking for anything else, and she said this is the type of stuff she collects. I was like, oh, I grabbed those. That's a stack of stuff I'll grab at yard sales and Goodwill at 50 cents or less, and I'll get a stack of it. And there's a couple of people I know that are interested in that sort of thing. So I'll grab that stuff, and like 2 or 3 of those sold to her. So that was that sale. So it looks like we're wrapping this one up pretty quick because not a lot else to talk about this morning. So like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.